Shalom Israel, Shalom. Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi. Call Halalyam Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Wa, Qadashka, Shammai, Yasharala, Yahawah, Allahayam Nawa, Yahawah, Ahad, Mamunya, Wa, Qadashka, La, the Kwa. Tawab, Amen. Shalom Israel, Kwame Yasharala, rise Israel. And this won't take too long, quick impromptu, and basically it's I want to land back the lesson I had last night. Salaki, give me a moment. Salaki, give me. I want to land back the lesson I had last night, which was about Allah Shadia or El Shaddai, but terrible demon like power, who is Yahawah. This is what they called him in the land of Canaan, in the Egyptians, a lot of our people of Israel that didn't know the name. And when he wanted him to make his name known, he showed great power, but they called him a jinn or they called him a terrible demon like power, Allah Shaddai, so, but his name is Yahawah. But you got to be careful of these men and men or women with these wayward doctrines, these books, that were, that don't marry to the scriptures, and what we're supposed to be speaking is prophecy, and and that's the duty of man. So when they come with all this other stuff trying to be deep, it's a state of confusion, and we're in Babylon, which means Babal, which means confusion. So you don't want that reprobate spirit. You don't want that setback to where you become empty, and then you become consumed by darkness. You become consumed by spirits because a lot of these books are pathways to that. Because sometimes people, this is not entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is truth speak. Because to open your eyes, to give you that eye salve, so you can see, so you can have ears to hear, which is the understanding. It's not for entertainment. And sometimes certain videos are put up for you to catch the eye, but sometimes that that person could be doing more harm than good, because we know what television is. We know that it's an antenna and an outlet. We call it the boob tube to put witchcraft on you, sorcery, predictive programming. So we try not to watch too much TV, only if it's for edification. But it's hard to kind of balance that with your children if you have any. You know what I mean? But and we know that it could captivate some kids, but it can captivate anyone because you're a vessel and you are vulnerable and you're not out of the woodwork when it comes to that. You know, and not knocking anybody for trying to give edification, but the truth is the truth. And sometimes when Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi put something in front of you, you use it for edification purposes to teach the church, you know. And let's get to Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and I create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. You understand what I'm saying? So we know that the Lord does everything, and we've constantly go over this time and time again, that he is the ultimate power. He has his angels on his left hand side and he has his angels on his right hand side, starting with your right hand angels, starting with Yahawashi, HaMashiach, the Mashiach, Archangel Michael, Uriel, Raphael, Then you have, Shaitan on your left hand side, who was the head of all those dark angels, and then that list goes on and on and on. It's a bunch of demon names that I'd rather not go through. you know. And so, if you're not headstrong, if you don't have, the heart, which is the mind, lob, to you know, to continuously do this work, and you feel like you have to be too deep, then you will be taken into the outer limits. You will be taken to another realm, and you will become reprobate. Let's go over the word reprobate and what it means. It means one rejected by Yahawah, sense of abandoned or unprincipled person, rejected as worthless to disapprove. So people are coming with this, trying to be known or trying to be seen or trying to get attention or trying to get views or likes or whatever, but they're not edifying the body. And the body is the church, which is Israel. And that's what this is that's the duty of man, is to edify the body, you know and and we know what Yahweh is all about. We know that he is greatly to be feared. Let's read Joshua 2:9. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror has fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. You understand what I'm saying? So he is greatly to be feared, you know. So people don't need to take that greatly into consideration what you're dealing with. This is not a game. This is not a joke, you know. Like the Lord said, roughly paraphrasing, it would be like you should have never been in this if you don't want to take this seriously or wholeheartedly. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture, but you know, if you're going to continue to be in this and do the work, or continues to believe and read and pray and praise and worship Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, but don't go left. Don't go far left to where you feel like you got to read other books, because this is the only book you need to be reading on. This is the book of life right here. Nothing merits this book. Nothing can compare to it. No other book. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't need to go outside this realm. And the book of the Apocrypha, Salakia, which was taken out of the book, by the Bible Destruction Group. But, that's a lesson for another day. But, that's, you want to continuously stay in the scriptures, and continuously to pray, so you can have a hedge put over you. You know what I'm saying? To keep those, because, the deceiver, our adversary, who is Satan, his job is to get on you and disrupt you from this truth automatically. He doesn't need any help doing that, but it's commanded by Yahawah. You understand what I'm saying? So he's gonna attack you to begin with, and to get in depth in certain, books and strange readings, it doesn't help the cause. Now, a man's goings are of the Lord. How does he know his own way? Roughly paraphrasing. So, from the book of Job, and roughly paraphrasing Job. So, everything is ultimately at the end of the day up to the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Yahawah the power, what direction you go, whether left or right. So when you're in this path of righteousness, these straits, you continuously give praise and worship. You know what I'm saying? So you can, stay steadfast in this and continue to grow, but edification, and continue to build oneself, so you can become a whole person. So you could become cleansed and renewed, sanctified, and then you won't have a problem with this other wayward speak that's going on, because that's coming down heavy in Israel right now, because the devil knows that he has but a short time, because you got to understand, we got the enemy that's coming down and, doing all this crazy stuff, along with the Lord already, striking terror on this planet right now. But, he's also he's taking out his sword, which is Esau Edom, and they're going through all the stops, so, it doesn't help to, and, don't think for a minute that these demonic presence won't jump on you like the days of Egypt. They will, Let's go to Deuteronomy 34:12. And in all that mighty hand and on all that great terror which Moses showed in the sight of all Israel. So it was shown to Israel the mighty works of Yahawah and what he's capable of doing, who's a great and who's greatly to be feared, a terrible power, you know. So you have to be careful about that, man, and don't feed into that for strictly entertainment. I had to land back that, and a lot of these nations have, conspired to create these books. You know what I'm saying? And to entertain or try to enlighten in the left hand manner. You know what I'm saying? Which is not the way. You know. So I had went over this before. What terror is, or terrorist. It's a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aim. So the Most High Yahawah through Yahawashi Hamashiach is you might as well say, they the main terror, you know, and they use that power for gain, and it's to destroy the wicked. It's to sift and separate the house of David from the house of Saul, For it's to separate the dark from the light, the unrighteousness and the righteousness. They'll do whatever they have to do because there is a sift that's happening right this moment, and it's a scary thing to be in the hands of the Lord, a terrible thing, you have to be careful dealing with this thing, So let's go to Ezra 8:23. So we fasted and besought our power for this, and he was entreated of us. So what you need to do when you get into a situation where you feel overwhelmed, demonic presence, an overwhelming feeling, fear, confusion, fast and pray. You understand what I'm saying? Fast and pray. So Yahawah through Yahawashi Mashiach will have mercy on you and heal you. You understand what I'm saying? That's the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal. So let's read this. Read this. Let's go to Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So the ultimate goal at the end of the day is to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, to fear the Lord and all his power and all his glory, and work out your own salvation. And deeping and sneaking and prying into other doctrines, it's not going to help the cause. So it won't help the matter. Only the scriptures, only the gospel, which is the good news, will do that for you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. I don't want to be on here too long. That was just a quick land back from in a few precepts, for edification purposes, for upliftment, for exhortation, and so you can have a understanding of what the magnitude and the severity of this thing that we in. This is a serious matter, so you need to understand that and take heed to it, before you go any further, or just don't be in this thing at all. This beautiful counsel. Don't be in the, keep yourself away from the presence of the Lord. If you feel like you can't abide as a child of his to do what you have to do for your salvation, to praise and worship your Father, your King, your Lord, and your brother, your Lord and King, your Savior, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. If you don't have the patience, which means long suffering, to do that, then go ahead and take a back seat. before you come a reprobate spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And know what you're into. You understand what I'm saying? And know what this is about. That's all I gotta say. Call Halalyam Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Rahakadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles who speak this truth in sincerity, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim, spread abroad, spitting this fire, 100% proof and truth. You understand what I'm saying? And blessings to the Aqua, the sisters that are listening and learning, the sisters that are loyal to the soil. Shalom Israel, Kwam Yasharala, rise Israel, and remember to love Yahawah, Yahawashi, like they love you. Shalom Israel, gird up your loins.